So I'd like to ask you about the hand under hand thing, if that's all right, because it's such a simple tool, and I think it should be just foundational as far as why isn't every carer taught this? Why isn't every caregiver utilizing it? Because it really does make a difference.
I I mean, the really weird part is we know human beings really do when they hold hands, something changes for them. We know when we make hand contact with another human being, we really acknowledge and recognize, and we actually connect our neurological systems for a second. So if I were to give you that experience through the palm of your hand, which is the better part of your hand to engage with, why wouldn't it have impact? And I just found it remarkable that people didn't do it already. So I was like looking through things when I first started practice. I thought, surely this is a practice. And it's like, no, what we did is hand over hand. We put our hand over their hand and try to make them do things. And it was like, yeah, I mean, that when there's no sensation in your hand, you can get away with it like a stroke, but or a head injury. But I found as soon as sensation they started, there's this reflexive pattern called withdrawal and get rid of. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want that. And our hands together, I'm pulling on so many pathways into your brain and into your movement patterns that your brain has this procedural memory. And it was so like, surely other people are doing this. And it's like, no, they were complaining about people not liking what they were doing, and they couldn't seem to wrap their head around, well, it's your hand coming to their face. That's not a familiar thing. But I mean, I'm just trying to help him. And it's like, I get it, but they don't. I mean, that's what I'm observing. So here, let me try it with you. And so for me, I'm wondering if one of the training things that gets in people's ways, Andy, is people don't like to be touched as a trainer. They like to be up at the front of the room doing a lecture, and it's like, well, that's not what dementia is about. That's really not. And so in my care, we're going to have to be intimate. So let's try touching each other and see how you feel about it. And it's like, oh, I don't like it. It's like, and if I limit your vision, oh, I really don't like it. And it's like, "Hmm, okay, well, let's try something. And then I'll have them do it on the left or on the right. And it's like, oh, it's a big difference when it's the dominant hand that you're using. It's like, yep, sure enough, it is, isn't it? And so suddenly we can start to recognize our own role in things without realizing, oh, it's like, oh, well, that doesn't feel good. And it's like, yep. But I mean, I agree with you. I was like, well, this should be, I mean, isn't this common practice? And it was like, nope.
No, and I do find it odd. I do have to say, because I say the group of trainers that we have, we've all seen your work, read your work. Some of them have met you as well, and yeah, all value it and appreciate it. So it's very strange to then go out and kind of be engaging with people, and they have no idea. So yeah,
It's so remarkably, and people who do it, and then it's like, you wouldn't believe it. She had, I could get her she took a bite and she said, oh, this actually tastes good. And it's like, she didn't fight with me. It's like, isn't that remarkable what we can do when we're with the person and instead of doing to the person? And it's like, yeah. And it just gets our brains to like let go of this me versus you and we become us. I mean, we're in this together. We're trying so hard together. Let's figure it out, shall we?
have you ever encountered an adult or child's behavior that has felt difficult, overwhelming, or challenging? Have you sometimes felt at a loss of what to do, or know that you didn't handle it quite right? People are complex and unpredictable, and their behavior can be like the weather. We've all made the mistake of looking out the window and feeling safe to wear shorts, but 5 minutes later wishing for an umbrella. What if, like a weatherman, you understood how humidity, temperature, and pressure all come together to cause the weather, allowing you to better prepare, predict, and respond, and prevent ever having a picnic ruined by a thunderstorm ever again? My book, called Targeting the Positive with Behaviors that Challenge, helps you to become the weatherman of behavior. It provides you with a toolkit to increase competency, confidence, resilience, and empathy, so you feel more assured about how to respond to distressed or dysregulated behaviors in others, including those affected by trauma, mental health, neurodiversity, learning disabilities, or dementia. build better connections, achieve de-escalation, and improve outcomes for yourself and those you engage with my celebrated 6-stage target model, a step-by-step process to reduce distress for everyone. Discover my empowering, person-centered guide in Targeting the Positive, written by me, Andy Baker, available from online bookstores worldwide. Find a link in the description and order today.